Take two. Kelly didn't have her microphone on.
I know, and I just, it was so funny. Rick just filled these for me, my minerals, and I was just taking them, and I'm like, I take these at night before I go to bed. The magnesium, they're like 5 times, like the best ones out there in the market.
Highly absorbable.
And I was watching this TikTok, and I don't know if you ever saw me on the show, but I used to have a problem, which when I would twitch like this, and it would go like this, like it would just like flutter all the time. Mm-hmm. And I saw a TikTok that said that
it was a lack of magnesium.
It's a lack of magnesium that when your eye twitches like that. And I was like, Rick, do you notice that I don't have that twitching of my eye anymore after taking my magnesium?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that the craziest thing?
It is nuts. Like the little things that you don't even realize when you lack certain minerals or vitamins that your body needs them. And if you don't have them, then you have these little things that start going wrong, or that just issues you have, maybe sometimes bigger things. But when you take this, you don't have to worry about that, and you just feel so much better, don't you?
I feel so much better, and you can see it in my blood work with my Hashimoto's, how well these minerals are helping me, and like what they do for my body. But you know, talking about like aches and pains, I work out a lot, I walk a lot, we do a lot of physical activity, and I would always complain. And remember when I did that Pronuvo scan that shows everything? I have scoliosis like this, right? I'm kind of like this. And I get like a sciatica. I always get like an issue right here always. And then I had this problem with my shoulder that was really bad, that hurt me forever and ever. And I complained. If you guys watched me for a long time, you know I always complain about my alignment being off.
Yeah.
After getting these GDefy shoes, honestly...
Oh, we're done talking about Soul Life?
Well, no, because I'm just talking about aches and pains. I'm segueing into...
Can I just introduce us? This is the Daily Smash for Tuesday, June 11th.
I forgot about that. I just started talking.
2024. I'm Rick.
I'm Kelly.
And it is GDefy Tuesday. Tell me how those have helped you.
Well, these have Okay, so when you get these in the mail... I'm normally a 9, but these 8.5s fit me perfect. I think they are a size, half a size. So, like, if you're a 9, get 8.5.
Well, I'm wearing 11s.
You're wearing 11s on those?
Yeah. One of the reasons why I wear the 11s is because I put the orthotics in there. Like, they have an extra cushion in
right
that.
Here. So, I have one foot that's bigger than the other, right?
Yeah.
My right foot's bigger than my left. I put this Comfort Fit in there because I have 2 different sizes, and these help. Where can you find tennis shoes that have these like things in there? And then I put the corrected fit in there. Yeah. But the thing about these things is like there's so much technology.
VersaShock technology. And they say it actually does help align your body.
It does.
And from the ground up, like it helps you from the ground up. It's like walking on air. It's so cushioned. And I've said this before, I love them because they make me taller. They make me like 2 inches taller, these shoes. So
awesome.
I want to wear them all the time.
I want him to buy some like regular shoes that are that tall. But what's so great about these, and I'm not over exaggerating here, you guys, this is like, I get shin splints all the time from my other shoes. I don't get shin splints from these. When I'm running, my alignment is intact. These, I know they sound like, oh, well, I mean, they really help my body. Yeah. But they give you this book to read. And it says, read this book before you get these. And I was reading the book, and you wouldn't believe the technology on these bad boys.
And I don't want to make this whole show a commercial, but you can get these for $30 off using the discount code SMASH30 at GDefy.com.
So you're supposed to wear them 1 hour a day?
When you first break them in.
For 3 days.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to break them in. You have to get the heat in there to form your foot.
So we drove, as you know, probably, if you watch our show, from Arizona to Palm Desert Sunday afternoon, and then got some work done there last night and this morning. Did a lot of cleaning at the house because the outside gets so sandy, dirty in these hot summer months. Like when the wind picks up, it just carries this like sand basically from the desert and just puts a layer on everything. So we were out there I used a blower and then the hose. We were hosing everything off, and Kelly had this bleach and
my hands. I gotta wear gloves. My hands smell like bleach. Smell.
a little bit,
You can't smell them?
a little bit.
I smell like bleach. So you can put Blue Dawn to a gallon of water with a cup of bleach, and you can clean the Sunbrella stuff, fabric with that.
Yeah.
I don't think it got it any cleaner though. Do you?
Yeah.
It doesn't look any whiter
Well, but
with that mix.
I definitely think it made a difference. But we had to go. We couldn't stay long enough to let everything fully dry and then put covers on everything because we had to get back here and do. I had to get ready for my show on Newsmax, and
You did really well on your Newsmax show. I was very, very proud of you.
Really?
Yes,
Thanks.
I was very, very proud.
Thanks.
I think you pissed some people off yesterday.
Oh my God! I forgot. Like I forgot that people get so mad. Like some people get mad when we talk politics, and then other people encourage it. But like I forget. Like people unsubscribe.
I'm unsubscribed. Yeah, like
because I was talking about how cool it was to go to that Trump event, and I wasn't giving money. I don't. I'm not donating to the campaign. But
he's a felon. Has he been charged with felonies? Has he been convicted of them?
He was convicted on 34 felony counts.
Yeah.
It was the lowest level felony that they basically created by combining two low-level misdemeanors to create a felony charge that they could get to stick in New York. I don't want to get too political here, but if you hate Trump, you hate Trump. And you're so glad he was convicted. And if you love Trump, you're going to tell everybody that the conviction was nonsense and that the charges were BS and that no one else would have been brought up on those charges and probably no one else would have been convicted except for Donald Trump because
people hate him.
A lot of people hate him.
But you know what? The thing of it is that we are in America. We're allowed to have exchange of ideas. Mm-hmm. We're allowed to have opinions. Everyone does. And I just find it that the tolerant people are the most intolerant.
Yeah.
Like they are like hard no, hate you. Why would you do this? And blah blah blah. Like I mean,
and nobody wants to share ideas anymore. Nobody wants to debate. Everybody just thinks they're right and everyone else is wrong and evil. If you're on the other side, and I don't know. It's hard to get used to that whole mindset.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We got in a fight with your friend that's a liberal, right? You tell him about what happened there.
I was texting with my buddy last night, and I don't remember exactly how it came up.
And he's really smart, you said.
He's a smart guy, a successful guy. And I said, basically, I said something about the Trump event, and he had some snide remark, and basically he's talking about how he was convicted of a felony. I'm like, dude, something needs to change because of the situation this country is in. Like, we're in trouble. And he was like, oh, really? Because the stock market's at all-time high and jobs were created. A lot of jobs have been created. And I was like, dude, gas prices, grocery prices, crime spiking across the country, and the situation at the border, and again, I'm getting political and I don't want to piss people off, but the situation at the border is so bad that we're allowing thousands of people in every day without the traditional background checks that we do with new immigrants. We're not doing it anymore. They don't have the manpower, and a lot of them are just sliding through the gaps, and everyone's being given a wink and a nod, and here, hop on the bus, and we'll take you to a city, we'll give you a hotel room. And I'm like, you don't know what's going on. We got gang members, criminals,
terrorists.
People are being given a playbook on how to get in, and then they lie, and they get in, and now what? Millions and millions of people who weren't here 3 years ago are now here.
So taxpayers, us being taxpayers,
yeah,
it's just going to get harder and harder on us.
Putting a greater strain on municipalities who have to spend money on this stuff and not on the actual needs
of what's going on to Americans here.
So I said something to him about all that, trying to talk some sense into him, or at least share that perspective. He goes, that's all hyperbole. Give me the facts. I go, well, those are the facts. 2,500 is the number that the Biden administration is basically decided was now okay. 2,500 a day, almost $1 million a year, and that doesn't count other groups who are being. It's mind-boggling to me. And then he was like, "That's still hyperbole." I'm like, "No, it's not hyperbole. This is the actual number that the government is putting out. They're admitting to this. They're basically saying that now this is the new norm. It's okay to let 2,500 people in every single day without."
Well, where's his
vetting.
facts? He's arguing, and you're
His
giving
facts
him
are
facts.
the stock market number and the job report. Like, okay, well, those aren't the only metrics that we need to worry about.
What about inflation?
Inflation is. I mean, we're all paying more for stuff. What's going on?
I hear voices.
Oh yeah.
I know Julie went to work, so that's why it scared me just now.
I wanted to share some fun comments that we got. They're not all bad.
Okay.
I mean, we have a lot of people really enjoy our show, and thank you for watching.
Thank
and
you.
And I'm sorry if we keep going off track.
Look how cute these shoes are.
GDefy, baby. They're not only cute, they're comfortable.
Well, yeah, they're VersaShock technology.
Like walking on air.
They help my alignment on my back.
I really love this one from Ami Tina 7156. Hi, Kelly and Rick. Don't forget to wear fancy clothes when you're on the Jeff Lewis show, because we're doing a show Wednesday.
Oh.
Just a nice put together look. Paul and Patrick do a fashion rundown every Friday. They harshly critique all of the guests' outfits for the week. You two need to be the best dressed this week. Thanks for another great show.
Oh my God. Thank you for reminding me. Holy cow. Wow, now we have to get all fancy for the Jeff Lewis show?
You know what? I might wear a tuxedo.
Like Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
I'll wear an orange one. You wear a blue one.
Leora Gal 5219 said, "Your dad looks exactly like Ricky Ricardo from I Love Lucy."
Oh my God! Let me show him a young. He does. I'm gonna show a picture of
Desi Arnaz?
of my dad. What he looked like when he was younger.
Oh, okay.
And tell me if my dad when he was younger looked like Desi Arnaz. I'm gonna show you a picture right here.
Michelle OM said, "Your dad looks 65. He's about to turn 81."
That was nice.
And then Lydia,
my dad would love to hear that. He loves it.
Lydia Myers 1159. The most impressive part of the house tour was watching Kelly skateboard. Good job.
Thank you.
I mean, she's got skills. She does have skills. I never was much of a skateboarder. I mean, I got on it. I rode around a little bit, but I don't know why. I just never really.
I rollerbladed and I was a skateboarder.
Yeah, I used to rollerblade.
I was in sports.
Hi, Rick. Hi, Kelly from Jacqueline Roy. This is my theory on kids not wanting their driver's licenses. When we got our driver's licenses, there were no cell phones, so we had to go see our friends. Today, there is so much social media, they have access to their friends through cell phone, FaceTime, etc.
I think that's right. I think you nailed it on the head right there. Everybody wants to know, our age group wants to know why these kids don't want to get their driver's license. And that makes perfect sense.
It does. And remember, at least I remember.
And they have Ubers now.
Having a license gave you freedom. It was finally, I can drive, I can get out of here. Now, they all have freedom on their phones, right? They're everywhere at once. And not for nothing, but e-bikes are a lot less than a car. You don't need a license to ride an e-bike. Most people know how to ride a bike.
Yeah. You
don't have to worry about filling it up. You just plug it in and then you go. And I think that might have a lot to do with it too. It's easier, and I mean, a lot of parents probably think it's safer. And the kids Uber everywhere. We didn't have Uber either when we were kids.
Talking about, I almost hit 2 kids on the e-bike today.
You did?
They popped right out of, we live at the beach, right? And these kids, they must be 8, 9 years old. They don't know the rules they're not driving. They don't know, they popped right out in front of me. It was the scariest.
Here in this neighborhood, or
right by the pavilions?
Oh wow!
Because I wanted to go to El Frappuccino's and get a coffee because I didn't have one today, and I'm getting kind of a headache. And I went around because he made me go back to the airport twice, and
I felt so bad.
Tell me what happened.
I had to park my car at the airport because I flew to Arizona on Saturday. I could have Ubered, but it was a complicated thing where I had to be at the Hyatt in the morning, and so I just figured I'll drive there, and then I'll get my car, and I'll drive to the airport, I'll leave at the airport, and then I'll just pick it up on the way home. But we left late today, and I was running late for work, so I didn't stop at the airport. We got home, I said, Kelly, can you get my car? And I told her where it was. I forgot that the parking ticket that they give you when you check in, the thing that comes out of the machine, was in my wallet.
But what do I always say to do, mister?
You always say, put the ticket under the visor or in the car, so when you get there, it's there waiting for you. Very good advice. And when she called me, she goes, where's the ticket? I go, oh no. It was in my wallet.
Because Julie had to go to work.
Yeah. So did she drive you back here and then drive you back to the airport?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, she probably hates me now too.
And she goes,
and Kelly was so mad, and I understand.
No. She goes, you would have been so mad at me if that would have happened. I go, yes. I go, yes, I would have been really mad at you.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I wasn't that mad at you.
Well,
because I knew how you were in such a rush to get.
I was in a rush, and I felt so bad when I realized that I hadn't given you the ticket, because I just wasn't thinking. Because when we got home, I was like, oh God, I gotta write my monologue, and I gotta get my show ready. And you're like, and then I remembered my car was at the airport. I'm like, I gotta get the car. And so I just wasn't thinking about the ticket in my wallet, and I'll make it up to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it up to you.
Thank you. Oh, we also got some people that got a little upset that I asked for an upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I do have 750,000 followers. I did have close to 1 million, but I pissed a lot of people off. And I am shadow banned. I had somebody reach out to me and say I'm shadow banned from Instagram. But if you were on a show for 5 years and they made you look terrible, or I made myself look terrible, one of the two, you would, and I have an influencer and I get paid to do things.
Yeah.
You would do the same thing. You would ask for upgrades.
If
you don't ask,
you're
you
not
will
going to get
never receive.
There's nothing wrong with her asking for an upgrade, because she's giving them a service in exchange for them giving her a nicer room, and it doesn't cost them anything really. If no one else is buying that room that night, they're giving her the upgrade, and in exchange for that, she's going to post for them, and at least 750,000 people have access to that post, and thousands will watch it, and thousands of people will find out about Caesar's Republic for the first time in many cases. She's doing them a favor, and they're doing her a favor, and me. And thank you, by the way, for giving us that beautiful suite.
Yeah, and Christina Barr, one of our smashers, wrote on there, wrote to me and said, Caesar's Republic, when did it open? I didn't even know about Caesar's Republic. I don't know when it opened. I don't know anything about it.
I didn't know about it either.
But I also, from one of our patrons, wrote in, and she said, you recommended Pizzeria Bianco and all these like other places, because she had a thing downtown. She's like, thank you so much for your Patreon and telling us about these places and the recommendations, because they enjoyed everything that I recommended.
Aww.
So, there's nothing wrong with telling my smashers and my Patreon people like what we experience, what we like, what we don't like, because they utilize my recommendations. So,
and by the way, you don't think, and not to compare Kelly to Kim Kardashian, you don't think the Kardashians get upgrades on everything all the time, get free stuff all the time, and they can certainly afford anything and everything, but they're given stuff because they're influencers, because by them using a product or showcasing a product, that product sells. Mm-hmm. People buy it. And so that's it.
It's probably the elderly generation that's writing that, because it is hard to wrap your head how these TikTokers, these YouTubers, these influencers are making multi-millions of dollars. And you're like, what do they really offer?
What skills do they bring to the table?
What skills do they bring? And I know it's probably the older generation that are writing that.
Yeah.
Because I can't wrap my head around it, how these TikTokers and these YouTubers make multi-millions of dollars. I don't get it either.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I'm with you.
Listen, Bottom line, we're going to continue to ask for upgrades. I know I will. I have no shame.
If you don't ask, you'll never receive.
Right.
Ever.
And if you're fortunate enough, like Kelly, to have built a big following on social media, there's nothing wrong with taking advantage of that.
Right.
In our opinion. We're almost out of time, so I'm going to get right to In the News.
Okay.
In the news now.
In the news.
Martha's Vineyard is about to run out of pot. That's led to a lawsuit and a scramble by regulators.
Wait, what? How is it? What do you mean?
Martha's Vineyard has one cannabis dispensary, and it's going to sell all of its remaining supplies by September at the latest, and Martha's Vineyard will run out of pot entirely. There are 230 registered medical users and thousands more recreational pot users on Martha's Vineyard, but because even though Massachusetts voters opted to legalize marijuana more than 7 years ago, the state's Cannabis Control Commission took the position that transporting pot across the ocean, either by boat or plane, runs afoul of federal laws. So that has created a counter-argument. That's created a problem for Martha's Vineyard because there's no way to get to Martha's Vineyard unless you're flying or on a boat. So this one person in Martha's Vineyard who wants her weed filed a lawsuit against the commission, which now says finding a solution to the island's pot problem has become a top priority. In fact, 3 of the 5 commissioners visited Martha's Vineyard on Thursday to hear directly from affected residents. It's been going on for a long time. The states legalized weed, and the feds still consider it a controlled substance. So you could buy it legally in a state, but you couldn't transport it. And
but the feds let the immigrants come over, no problem?
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah,
you can transport illegal aliens through,
Yeah.
but you can't do pot.
And fentanyl.
And fentanyl.
But don't put weed on the ferry to Martha's Vineyard. Like,
Don't you dare.
I mean, it's funny because if the weed is legal, which it is now in Massachusetts, you know, it should be legal to transport the product to the place where it's legal to sell it. It seems like it's such a random, weird thing.
So is this lady going to win, and how much is she going to sue, and how much is she going to get? I want to know.
Thank you for asking the tough questions. The lady is 77 years old. Her name is Rose.
Maybe I should have my mom do that.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Mom, go to Martha's Vineyard and get on that lawsuit because you need your weed.
She was joined in the lawsuit by the Green Lady Dispensary on Nantucket, which for now continues to have its own homegrown supply, but also faces the same high cost of on-site testing and issues with, importing it. I don't know that she's suing for money. I think she's just suing for the opportunity to buy the weed from the place she buys her weed from.
Maybe they need to open up more
dispensaries
up there. Sounds lucrative.
Yeah, but Martha's Vineyard, it's only really open 3 months a year. Like basically Labor Day, Memorial Day to Labor Day. I'm sure people are there year round, and some people are there.
It's like
sooner,
the Hamptons.
Kind of like the Hamptons, because it's cold in the winter, and it's a really small island. Not a whole lot to do there. Mm-hmm. You've been there once, right?
I've been there once. I stayed there, and I stayed at this. I was with Tony.
Yeah.
My first boyfriend. Not my first boyfriend. My second boyfriend, and his parents were from Stamford, Connecticut, and we went with a guy that was a lawyer that sued DuPont, and he made like gazillion dollars.
Yeah.
Bought a house in Martha's Vineyard. He didn't have air conditioning.
Did not have air conditioning.
I thought I was going to die. That was probably the worst experience of my whole life. Wow. Because I cannot take humidity and not have air conditioning.
Was it? It must have been July or August.
It was July.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I went one time to Martha's Vineyard.
I'm like, I will never go to this godforsaken place. This is horrible. Why? I mean,
the only time I went was when JFK Jr.'s plane crashed, and they actually chartered us a private jet from West Hampton to Martha's Vineyard. It took about 40 minutes to get there.
Really?
Yeah. Landed right there, right near where the crash site was. And I was on the air like within an hour.
How long does it take to drive there from New York?
it's probably 6 hours to get to the ferry, or then you have to hop on a little puddle jumper to get over there.
I remember when I was in Stamford, Connecticut, getting there was like, it was like, I'm going through Rhode Island, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I went through like 5 states in like a minute, and I was like, well, this is so weird.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed this rambling edition of the Daily Smash, and we hope you'll be back again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet here, can you hit that subscribe button? Because we lost 5 today, yesterday, because of my politics. I don't know. But we still haven't gotten to 46,000. We've been at 45.9 for about 6 months.
We're getting shadow banned.
Yeah.
I already know.
So can you try and fight the shadow ban with us? And if you haven't checked out the Rick and Kelly show yet, you really need to subscribe there and enjoy our content there. We have 146 episodes, hour long. It's only $5
If you're at the office,
join.
can you have 5 people just like subscribe?
Yeah.
Because we lost 5 from Rick going to the Trump event. I didn't go. I don't know why I'm getting blamed for it.
Well, you were credentialed. They wouldn't give me your credential to give to you when I came home. They're like,
Why?
I'll try and give it to you later. I think they were worried about me giving it to someone who wasn't you and them sneaking in.
Oh. But I had a credential there?
With your name on it, yeah.
Wow.
In fact, when I walked in to pick up the credentials at that Hyatt, they had them all in boxes, and the ladies sitting behind the counter, behind the tables, asking for your name and your ID. Ours were right at the front, facing me. It said Rick and Kelly Leventhal right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, have a great day, everybody.
Have a great day, everyone.